I'm Alice Stephenson-Leuck. I graduated with honors from Brookhaven College in Dallas and volunteered in suicide prevention on the Dr. Phil website for 6 years. I was born in Norman but moved to Texas in my teens, and then we returned to Norman in 2019, and I was shocked by what all's going on in Norman. Like many others are, the defunding of the police, $865,000.
Yeah. And so you're running for mayor, correct?
Yes, and I'm running for mayor.
What influenced your interest in city politics? Obviously, you mentioned the defunding of the police, the reallocating of $865,000 from that. So is that why you're running for mayor? And kind of what are the other things why are you running?
Yes, the defunding of the police got my attention because leadership should incorporate the 4 R's of leading responsibly, reasonably, rationally, and respectfully, like respecting the Norman police. And then also the Norman Forward fiasco. Some things have been good. The library is very nice, but the sculpture in front of the library cost $230,000, and that would have bought 6 police cars. I think management and running a city should be on contingency basis, and when you're unable to meet your essential needs, you need to go back to the voters and instead of asking them to pay more, say, would you like to reallocate the Norman Forward funds towards the essential needs of Norman?
So, kind of touch on my next question. You often speak about the lack of transparency in the council and the lack of kept promises. What are some initiatives over the past years that kind of this has made you believe that this council has not kept promises, has lacked transparency? What are some of those initiatives?
The crumbling drainage ditches by our house. I've heard that the water in Norman's very poor, so not enough focus is on the water. The recycling program quit recycling glass, and we have to be concerned about future generations, our children, and I'm very into recycling, so glass should still be recycled and included with the recycling program.
What are some specific transparency issues that you think the city government could be doing a better job at?
The defunding of the police kind of blindsided everybody. I don't think anybody expected that. I don't think anybody except the Norman Transcript did cover about the $230,000 sculpture in front of the library. And some things like that you don't have to have, but the essential needs of Norman you do. The police, fire department, sewage, water, maintenance.
What is your approach to making decisions and composing policy if elected mayor?
Fresh eyes. I grew up where everybody did have to focus on the essential needs and not waste money on this and that. That you first take care of your essential needs, and then if you have extra monies, you take care of other things. You don't go to the voters and have these pie-in-the-sky ideas and then not only not be able to produce it, but then to say, oh, and by the way, we need other money because we haven't been attending to the essential needs of Norman. And further, we're going to defund the police $865,000, and right after we build a $900,000 skate park across the street from the police station.
In a previous interview with the Transcript, you mentioned homelessness as a big kind of issue that you want to tackle if you were elected mayor. Could you elaborate on that and why that's such a passion of yours?
Homelessness is such a passion with me because what does it say about the community that we have so much homelessness? And a lot of the shelters, they turn away the substance abusers. Well, that's a big problem since statistics say that 50% of homeless have substance abuse issues. I would step up to the plate to ask the casino to help with building a state-of-the-art homeless recycle center for the homeless,
Why the casino?
because statistics, and I have them this time since you said you need statistics, that 50% of homeless are attracted to cities with casinos. It's a magnet. My brother was elder abused by many homeless that don't qualify to go to the shelters because they have substance abuse issues. And so when it starts getting cold, they start zeroing in on the disabled and senior citizens. My neighbor, to be more recent, woke up with a homeless person sleeping on her porch and another urinating in the bushes in her front yard. She had to have a wrought iron fence built around her yard to feel safe, because also 3 others were hiding in her yard, hiding from the police after vandalizing cars. They're desperate. Who wouldn't be if you're homeless? You have a substance abuse issue, which is the leading mental illness in the United States, and you're turned away from the shelters because you have substance abuse issues. So it's okay, I understand why they're turned away, but you have to have a viable option.
And so you mentioned the casinos. What is your goal to, or how do you plan on having them pay? I mean, they don't have to. They probably won't. What is your kind of plan to force them to pay for homeless shelter?
Force is a strong term. I think that, I don't mean to sound like Elizabeth Warren, because it turned out, and I don't mean that sarcastic, but it turned out she didn't have the Native American ancestry she thought she had. And I have Creek, Cherokee, and Choctaw Native American ancestry. My families have told me. I haven't had a DNA test, and they're not applicable anyway to the tribes. But more specifically, the tribes like to help the state of Oklahoma. They're good people, and they right now are providing shots, COVID-19 shots for children. So that's what I would implore them to please accept responsibility for contributing to the homeless issue in Norman, because 90%, well, the majority of the homeless that targeted and elder abused my brother had substance abuse and specifically came to Norman because of the casino, and there's even casino hoppers that go from city to city in Oklahoma and stay the 7 days they can at the Salvation Army before they can't stay any longer, then go to another city, a homeless person told me. So that's why that's why the casinos need to step up to the plate, because it's creating a burden to the residents of Norman, the city of Norman.
And kind of to wrap it up, what are kind of 3 main issues that, if elected mayor, you would like to tackle in your first term?
I would like to tackle focusing on the essential needs of Norman, respecting the Norman Police, Fire Department, and the other essential avenues that we need, like I said before, on sewage, water, and the infrastructure of Norman. Mm-hmm. So I would like to address that. Oh, and also, if I'm elected, no more late night into the wee hours of the morning city council meetings. There'll be a time limit at ends, just like this interview isn't going to last all day long. And also, there'll be no profanity. Norman used to have, I grew up in Norman in the 60s, they actually used to have signs in places, no profanity, and if you used it, you were asked to leave. Also, the city officials need to be respected, the city council and the mayor. And I don't know, remember you told me that the salary of the mayor is only $1,200 a year?
Yes, $100 a month.
And I don't expect to be elected. That may not be the right thing to say in an interview, I don't. But whoever you elect, Mayor Bria Clark is right about that. That the salary for the mayor hasn't been raised since the 1970s. And I don't know how on earth, even in the 1970s, anybody would even want to be mayor at $100 a month. So that, and I heard Oklahoma City's real low paid as well. So I don't want to say you get what you paid for, because there's a lot of things I like about Bria Clark, but there's also the defunding of the police and saying wear a mask and closing places down, then going to a huge rally out at Sooner Fashion Mall. That, because I kind of liked her strong stance, but it just wasn't consistent. So, and I would like to add too, my brother passed of COVID-19 December 26, 2020. The person who was supposed to do this interview is not here today because they have COVID. And I don't know if it helps to wear face masks. I do in memory of my brother. So, but people at risk should wear them. And so in that way, I guess it's a choice. You're not wearing one right now. Yeah. So that was an issue with a lot of people in the audience at the Norman Police Forum. So I just wanted to share that too.